Okay, we're back. What we're doing is we're doing the feet, and I'm trying to get them to a point where we're comfortable with how they are. But before we continue with the feet, I just want to round this portion down to the bottom a little further. So we're just going to chop this out. Okay, just to round him up just a tad more, give him some more shape, some roundness to him. Remember, we put those two little lines there as where his legs should be, so that's kind of a nice little reference point for you. Okay, so alright, see how we have that kind of rounded now? That's fine. We're going to round this up a little further, closer to the feet. Oops, you got to be careful how that stuff is running, folks. Okay. And we're just going to keep going here a little bit, rounding them up. And here's another center line, okay? So we're going to try to round this up so it's more towards a little more of a rounded look to them. I'm going to separate these feet just a tad more. Okay. Alright. A lot of carving, folks, is a matter of just looking at your piece and seeing if it looks square, and just keep working at it, you know, a little bit here and there. And, you know, you're just kind of going around everywhere on it, like I'm doing now. There's nothing wrong with taking a little bit off at one point and then flipping it around to look at. Now, see how it's starting to round up a little bit more, and there's just a tad more on this side, so I need to remove that. Okay, see, we got that down just a little bit, and we'll do the same thing over here. We're just, because he's kind of stretching his neck out a little bit, so he's not, doesn't have it tucked in, you know, so his neck will definitely be showing. And I'm just looking at it from the front here. This looks a little square here yet, so we're just going to remove some of that. Then you look at it from the top, you look from the back, from the side, and from the front, and you get a pretty good idea sometimes if it's too square, that you need to fuss with it here and there. Now we're going to put some feathering on him, and folks, because this is like a caricatured duck, it's not a realistic carving of a duck, it's kind of a comical duck. You know, it's not going to be right or wrong how you put the feathers in, okay? So, as a beginner, if you're a beginner, or if you've been carving like I have for a long time, have fun with it. You know, it doesn't have to be show quality or anything like that. Now, if you do shows, then yes, and you want to compete in the realistic stuff, yeah, then you're going to have to know the feathering and the layout and all that. And some people are really into that, and there's not, you know, that's just their enjoyment of carving, which is fine. We're going to take off that line now. I'm going to remove that one first. Okay, so see how his little body's turning out here. It's looking pretty good, and it's getting nice and rounded, and his big feet in the front. So that's what we want. But still here in the front, I think is a little square yet. So I'm just going to round this from here from here over, I'm just going to round it off just a bit more. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing here. We're just going to do from the center here over. We're just going to trim it out a little bit. Okay, I know we spent some time in rounding things up, and I think I'm kind of happy with him right now, the way he looks. So he's kind of plump, he's kind of round, which I like, and in fact I'm just going to chop a little more off at the bottom here, just to give it just a little bit more roundedness here at the bottom of the... Okay, and we're going to do the same thing over here. Try to keep it the same distance away from that center line and from the feet, you know, where that marking where those feet belong. Okay, so there he looks a little more rounded and a little more plump. That's exactly what I wanted. I'll tell you, he's a fun project to do. I have enjoyed doing him and seeing him come along from an idea to a carving. That's the neat thing about creating your own stuff. You have a tremendous amount of fun with it. Alright, so let's clean this up here. We'll clean that off. I'm just going to kind of blend that all in. See how that looks? Looks good. That looks real good. Okay. Now the other thing we're going to do is we're going to do his feet. Now right here across. Remember, we have this going across. Now I want about at least 1/8 of an inch across. So we're just going to chop this straight across. Now be mindful, folks, your grain is running this way. Okay? So you want to be very, very careful. I'll be back with another clip and we'll do the feet. Alright, I'll be right back.